Hey guys, I'm Aleister,
And I'm Alseia.
and this is the Absurdium podcast.
Welcome, welcome! This is our new episode. I decided not discontinue counting the episodes because I've been forgetting the number of them. We have so many.
Yeah, we're getting up there.
Yeah, I decided. Well, we decided, which means me. I decided to go off and say the number of episodes only like at the anniversary episodes, like 10, 20, something like even and round. So it's easier to keep up rather than like 17th, 18th.
Right, yeah, it'll get old after a while.
Yeah, I already got lost track of what number of episodes we made.
Right.
I think that will be the last time, and maybe the next time we film. Today is 9th episode. Ninth. I was trying. 10. 9 episodes. I cannot believe. So next episode is going to be a round one. Maybe we'll do something special.
Ooh, we'll have to think about that. I don't have.
I know. I don't have any ideas yet.
Well, now
I say like we have a plan, but now the pressure is on. We
Wow.
have to create something truly outstanding. No, don't have high expectations. We're just gonna talk. It might be a little bit more special than the usual ramble, but
They're gonna have the highest expectations.
I'm sure they won't. But if they do, if you guys do not have any, because I don't have high expectations for the next episode.
I have high expectations.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
It's gonna have 2 digits in it.
We're crossing the threshold and going into the double digit. I think I'll be more impressed once we get to triple
Yeah,
digits. I think that will be truly magnificent.
that's a significant
Then we will need to make a truly special episodes. Maybe Q&A.
Mm-hmm. I think by the time we get there, we'll have things a lot better figured out. So
Probably.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe we can. You know what? We'll discuss this later.
Yeah, fair.
The plans. It's not the topic of today's episode, which is drumroll. Aleister.
Dreams.
Mini aspirations.
Yeah.
Because we already did like sleeping dreams.
Yeah.
A couple of episodes. Two episodes back.
Yep, that's the joke.
Oh. Oh, it was a joke?
Yep.
Oh, I ruined it.
No worries. I'm
But
sorry.
yeah, aspirations,
Yeah.
dreams, goals, other synonyms that I cannot think of at the moment, but
Reach for the stars. Actually, that might be a good name for the episode.
ooh, yeah, I like that. Dreams, reach for the stars.
Mm-hmm.
Or reach to your stars. Wait, what?
Reach to your own stars.
I got so off track. I had coffee right before I came in. Can you tell? Yes,
that
that's
makes
why I'm
sense.
bouncing. You're
Okay.
you're looking at me weird, like, are you okay?
Uh-huh.
Yep, I had coffee. I need all the energy. So yeah,
All right. So, anyways, dreams, aspirations.
goals,
Yeah.
reaching for the stars.
How would you define aspirations if you had to just pull words out of your head randomly?
By the way, I'm not prepared for this quiz. I did not study my homework.
I told you there was going to be a pop quiz.
Damn it. I'm not good with pop quizzes. But I feel like aspiration, and I do not know the actual definition, so it's literally me just pulling words out of my head, is aspirations are goals that you set for yourself that are reachable.
Mm-hmm. Fair. Yeah,
Smart goals.
that's pretty much what they are.
Well, I mean, like,
Yeah.
S stands for specific, measurable, attainable. Or I don't know what R stands for. Then timely, maybe.
I've never heard that acronym before.
Our coworker always talks about them.
Oh.
You should participate in the program to know what it.
I'm kind of planning on
Did
it.
she reach out to you?
I talked to her about it last week.
Oh,
so.
did she reach out about it? Because she needs more people.
Not yet.
Okay.
She mentioned it when we were talking. So.
Yeah. You
yeah.
should. It's
Yeah.
actually very interesting.
Yeah, I'm absolutely thinking about it. So, anyways, back to
Yeah.
aspirations.
Was I somewhat
So
close? Not really.
the definition I found is a lot more like high picture, not that
Okay.
detailed. It's basically just the act of aspiring or ardently, I don't use that word very often, ardently desiring something. It's an ardent wish or desire, essentially.
What a unique. I mean, I know what ardently means, but it's interesting that they use it specific, not like strongly desire or like,
Right.
I don't know, another synonym that I cannot think of. Coffee is messing with my mind, so if I'm stumbling through my words, you know why. Which, by the way, we're drinking tea. always. So I'm not getting more coffee, which I think green tea still has caffeine, but whatever.
Yeah, it's I think the lowest caffeine content.
No,
No?
green tea has the highest caffeine
Does it really?
count even compared to coffee.
What the heck was I reading?
I don't know, maybe
Huh.
herbal tea
Ah, all right.
or black tea. Black tea has lower count of caffeine than green tea.
How did I get that so wrong?
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong and you're right.
Hmm.
That can be true,
Hard to say.
which is the rare occurrence. But okay, ardently desire.
Yeah,
Okay.
ardently. Very interesting word. Very specific.
Yeah, very
word.
specific.
Mm-hmm.
Like
You don't hear that used very
I
often.
mean, usually ardent means hard. Like you strongly desire something. Like it's the synonym
Yeah.
to word ardently is strongly.
Mm-hmm. But it's like it's a synonym, sure, but it's like you use ardently when strongly isn't a strong enough word. Kind
Yeah,
of.
like a diamond hardness kind of level.
Mm-hmm.
Like you cannot be indestructible,
Right. Yeah, pretty much.
basically. Yeah, which is a very specific word.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I suppose it's kind of true.
Right.
That
Yeah.
when you're aspiring something, you kind of want it really, really bad.
Oh, absolutely. That's the whole point.
Or you can just substitute ardently with really, really, really bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what probably I would use instead of ardently. How many people know the word ardently to begin with?
Hard to say. Probably avid readers, I'm sure, but people that don't read much, not sure.
I mean, why would they know the word
Right.
unless they read it or hear it and then
Yeah,
discover it in a dictionary?
it's not something that comes up very often in like school, even really.
No,
So,
no, not at all.
no.
Oh well. Anyways, back to aspirations and dreams. Sorry, I got soundtrack sidetracked.
We could make a soundtrack.
Nope, we don't.
Fair.
Nope, no musical talent in that area for sure.
Fair enough. Anyways, interesting you brought up goals.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the difference is between goals and aspirations and even dreams? Add all three into the mix. So they're all similar, but they're kind of specifically
I
different.
feel like dreams are something that you might never achieve or never actively pursue.
Mm-hmm.
Aspirations, I feel like that's why they say I aspire to become something instead of
Right.
I set a goal to become someone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like more spirited
Right.
in a sense. Like just thinking about the words, not the definitions at all. I don't even know if I'm accurate or not. And goals are more like a very actionable. So this is the goal for very specific duration of time.
Mm-hmm.
Where aspiration you kind of might work on it throughout the entire lifetime.
Right.
Like
yeah.
I'm aspiring to be a good person.
Yeah.
I don't think you will ever like achieve it at a specific point. I mean, you could,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think it's really quantifiable. I feel like aspirations
Right.
might be non-quantifiable but achievable in the process because it's a journey, not a destination. Where
Mhm.
goal is a very destination. Like I will get there.
Yeah, the goals are like milestones along the way.
Yeah. And aspiration is you can be aspiring something and set goals to that aspiration. Like kind
Mhm.
of like that's my understanding, but I might be wrong. So
Right. No, that's about my understanding as well.
do you have the definitions of the words?
I do not actually. I did not think to grab those. So
That's fine.
yeah. But I don't know. When I was reading, I found a little saying that kind of summed it up nicely, that aspirations are kind of just the middle ground between goals and dreams in a way. So yeah. Whereas dreams, they're like you said, they're kind of like the
Vague,
unattainable,
Yeah.
perfect world, like ideals.
Yeah.
Aspirations are like knock it down a peg, make a few compromises, but not too many.
Mm-hmm.
And then goals are how you get there, basically.
Yeah.
you know?
Maybe dreams are like intangible and goals are very much tangible, and aspirations are someplace in the middle between
Mhm.
intangible and tangible,
Yeah, for sure.
like ghosts. They're between physical and like whatever other world is.
Mm-hmm.
Another plane of existence, and the ghosts are like in between. They're aspiration. The ghosts of our dreams.
It's funny. People often say, actually, now that you mention it, a lot of ghost stories are like a lot of the, what am I trying to say here?
Maybe you were talking about apparitions?
No. So it's like why a ghost is still stuck in this plane of existence.
Because they had like unattained,
Because
unachieved goal or aspirations.
yes, exactly.
Desires that, yeah, I know
Yeah.
that. Yeah, when they desire something so strong that they make an impression on the world and stay behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or they were overcome by such intense emotion and feeling that they could not just let it go, and they
Right.
couldn't let that go. Because
Yeah.
death's supposed to be peaceful, right?
Mhm.
Why do we always go back to death in every episode? No matter what we're talking about, we're morbid.
It really comes up a lot, doesn't it?
Well, because subjects become so metaphysical
Yeah, I
And-
suppose.
and,
It is
spiritual
often
that
relevant
we're
in
just
a
like,
way.
whoosh, let's be the subject and ride along with it.
Funny.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my understanding of goals, aspirations, and dreams. Dreams are something you just kind of daydream or
Mhm.
have an idea about. Like, I want to have $1 million house and make $100 billion a year.
Mhm.
Achievable? Probably not. I mean, it can
which-
be an aspiration. You can work toward it and set goals to achieve that.
Mhm.
And then your dreams become a reality. But
Right.
at that point, it's not going to be a dream anymore.
It's funny. $1 million house used to mean so much more.
Yeah, now it's like, I was on Zillow yesterday, and I saw a really nice apartment for like. We do not live in New York or California,
Mhm.
so our prices are a little more mild. And I
Yep.
saw a really nice apartment, not a big one. I mean, I think it was like 1 or 2 rooms, like
Mhm.
for $2.5 million. I saved it. I can show it to you later.
Huh.
It was really nice. My aspiration is to live in a place like that.
Right. Yeah. That's fair.
I'll be working towards living in a place like that. So, because
Mhm.
I want to have a nice place. And
Yeah. I mean, everyone should want to have a nice place.
well, remember the conversation with our coworker about like if we won a lottery, what we would do with money? And I said that I would be like, build like a complex,
Right? Mhm.
like in anime they have like clan complexes where they like a wall and like houses and gardens and stuff like that. I would want something like that.
Mhm.
Like very, very beautiful. I would hire like an landscape designer to landscape everything for me. Did you
Right.
know that landscape design actually exists?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, landscape designer is someone who will design your garden, ponds, everything. Like flowers will be getting together because some flowers cannot live next to each other and they require different kind of care, shade, sun, water.
There's a lot of
so-
logistics that goes into
Oh,
that.
very much so. It's very creative, but also very strategic. So
Yeah. Not to mention, someone's got to tell you how to carve that hedge maze into the shape of a horse.
exactly. Well, hired professionals will help you with that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that would be my goal to like build a complex
Right.
on a
Yeah.
plot of land, someplace in suburbs. I don't want to live anywhere like really rural,
Mm-hmm.
but like suburbs are nice.
Right. Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe we should build a podcast compound too. Could have all the recording sets on it.
I think at that point we can just have house bought for that. We probably don't have to build anything. We can just buy a house for that.
That's
Perhaps.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Right
have
on.
all the equipment and maybe I don't know sets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like this episode, because it's on dreams and aspirations, will include us like having dreams and aspirations voiced out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. I was
So-
fully expecting that.
I didn't. I had zero expectation. I actually kind of, should I say that? Kind of forgot we were recording today. So I came very unprepared. But as long as one of us knows the subject matter and did some sort of research, we usually are okay.
Mm-hmm.
Usually
Yeah.
we do, both of us does what?
There's the coffee
I
again.
lost it. Don't worry, guys. It will wear off soon enough, and I'll become very, very, very mild.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not.
It
Depends.
won't.
Depends on my mood. I was very moody today. Am.
Mm-hmm.
I am very moody today in the best way possible. Anyways, ramble aside. What was I talking about? We usually do our research separately, but together on the same topic, and so we're both prepared.
Yeah, have a little bit of coordination.
Yeah, but this time around, because I forgot, Aleister had to do the heavy lifting of.
How dare you?
And yet, I'm the one that speaks the most, anyways.
Well, that's just naturally how it is. You talk more than I do.
I do talk a lot.
Yeah, I'm the silent brooding type, not really.
Brooding type.
Yeah, brooding. That'd be funny.
Edward Cullen was brooding from Twilight. You are very far from brooding.
Yeah.
Thoughtful, maybe. Brooding, not so much. Which is a good thing. I don't think brooding is
Yeah,
necessarily. It's romanticized, but I don't think it's necessarily good because it has this negative connotation.
Right. In real life, yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of negative because in my mind, I don't actually know the definition of brooding. But in my mind, it's something like you're thinking too much in not a happy way.
Right.
Like you're kind of dwindling yourself down into depression.
Yeah, you're kind of stuck in your own head.
Yeah, not in a good way. So I don't think brooding is necessarily.
Yeah, I guess I would say I do not aspire to be a brooding type of person.
Why would you?
I don't know. Because
Anyways.
of Twilight, probably.
Now that I'm older, watching Twilight again, rewatching it. Very toxic relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, have you seen it?
I have seen the parody.
Oh, well, you should probably watch the movie so you can just cringe the entire way.
I don't do well with cringe.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I am on work mode today, so if you hear a notification, it might be work.
Fair enough.
Didn't wish to be, but no one asked me.
Yeah, that's life.
That's not actually work.
Fair.
That's just a different notification, but yeah.
Right on. We all get them. Sometimes at the worst of times.
Yes. So don't mind me, please. Sorry about that. But anyways, so what else were you talking about? Aspiration, goals, dreams?
Yeah, basically. Who do you think is at the root origin of like the understanding of aspirations and like self-improvement and whatnot?
I have no idea. Another Greek philosopher?
If you had to guess.
I don't know.
It's our friend Aristotle.
Oh, I was gonna say that, but I'm like, what are the odds of him being again involved in anything philosophical? Oh my god! Guess what? He is again. We should probably like print a picture or poster of him and just post him and be like, our friend, Aristotle.
I'll just print out a little headshot and like stick it in the corner of the painting.
That would be actually a good idea.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny. I didn't dive too much into this because it was kind of a bit of a tangent.
Okay.
It's not about aspirations specifically.
How about the philosophical paper on thought?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's the whole like the study of personal development, which I would consider aspirations to fall under.
Okay, I can see that.
So yeah, that's kind of the link I got to it, which basically went back to Aristotle was one of the first people to really consider personal development in a quasi-scientific philosophical way and consider the ramifications of it, obviously the betterment from it, generally speaking. And then also, like, he was the first Western philosopher, and then Confucius was the first Eastern philosopher. And they were the ones that kind of laid the groundwork for how it's understood in, like, modern psychology, basically.
Well, Confucian came later than Aristotle, though.
Significantly
like
later.
Much later, like 1,000 years or something, right?
Yeah. Something like that. But the East was also really segmented off from the rest of the world.
Because I feel like Aristotle was way, way, way like before Christianity, right? Like 3,000, 2,000 BC?
It's 300.
300, okay.
Yeah.
That was way off, but like BCE. And I feel like Confucian at least 1,000 maybe? 600?
Confucius was actually before Aristotle.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I had
100
no
years
idea.
Before. Yeah. That's wild. Yeah, because Confucius's ideas seem so much more modern in a way, it seems like.
Well, I always forget how old Chinese history is, actually, because their empire was...
Oh, it goes back forever.
Like, it's. I think it's one of the most stable, like, empires throughout the ages.
Oh, yeah, they
throughout
have
the
not
centuries.
changed hands very much at all.
Yeah, Three Kingdoms. I think it's all began with Three Kingdoms. Was it Three Kingdoms or Four Kingdoms? I think Three Kingdoms.
I don't actually.
I don't know
history.
my Chinese history very well, but from the Chinese drama that I watched, I think there was a unification at some point, 4,000 years ago or something. 4,000 years ago. Can you imagine?
It's a long time ago.
I mean, the dynasties changed, and probably the borders of the empire changed quite a lot. Guys, my Chinese friends, please educate us. We have no idea. If we say something wrong, please correct us
Mhm.
politely, okay? Don't be mean.
Yeah, but we're clueless.
It's not the usual subject matter that we research.
Mm-hmm.
Just comes up and we're like, oh, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. A
So if you
tangent.
have something you want to add or change or correct us, please do. We would appreciate extra knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Always love learning.
Funnily enough, my coworker, he already left, and another coworker of ours, the baby one,
Mm-hmm.
stopped by, and he's like, "You just know some random stuff," and I'm like, "I don't know. I just accumulated random knowledge."
Mm-hmm. So you
Just,
get
I
from
don't know.
reading,
Just kind of like, well,
right? I like
it's
learning.
my aspiration to know as many useless facts as possible.
It's not a bad aspiration to have.
Not necessarily a goal, but aspiration. You know, I'm working on it as it goes. I just kind of learn stuff, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But the downside is that nowadays, with social media being so prevalent, you don't really know what are the true facts and what are just some people's thoughts
True.
and opinions,
Yeah.
and
It's
they present it as a fact.
yeah. It's
Please
very
don't be
hard
work.
to differentiate it.
Okay. Okay. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's very tough to differentiate unless you're like literally reading a history textbook, basically.
but even history textbook get update.
True, and they're all subjective too, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
History is written by the victor,
Mm-hmm.
after all. But again,
Exactly.
it as close as we get to the truth as possible. Because I
Right.
mean, how will we ever find out true history of like 4,000 years ago? We
Mhm.
won't. We'll just kind of have to speculate. Like, well, I'm sure it wasn't as bad or as awful or as good as it's portrayed in.
Yeah, you kind of just got to
In
do
the
the
book.
best with what you got.
I mean, my opinion is that it doesn't really matter how the person is described, because we will never know what was actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I always have like a grain of salt in every historical fact, especially like when they
Right.
have like, oh, he was a horrible human being.
Yeah.
I'm like, on a scale from, um,
Mm-hmm.
I like to say mean words to a serial killer. Like, where do we
Right.
fall?
Yeah, and then there's the
Horrible, truly
whole
human
like
being. Like,
there's the constant game of telephone where it's like if it's far enough back, it's history that's been written, and then someone else cataloged it, and then someone else cataloged it.
someone has translated
Yep.
it.
And not only are they cataloging it, but they're going through different social norms at the time. So it's like what was really bad 1,000 years ago might be kind of bad 500 years ago, and then extremely bad now.
Yeah.
And
So
it changes the tone of how it's written.
historical context matters very much.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I feel like since historical texts were usually written in the language and the vernacular that they used back then,
Right.
translations might not be accurate because those words are foreign to us right now, even though they might have been part of English.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, they might have changed the meaning, and maybe
Right.
translator didn't do as good of job.
Yeah, there's
Which
so
I
many
respect.
variables.
Translators so much.
Mhm.
Translators and interpreters,
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
do an amazing job.
Yeah, but they're still human.
Yeah, but still human, and you can still put certain intent within the word that you're translating.
Right. Yep. We're all human, except for
Mhm.
me. I'm a cyborg.
Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
that explains a lot.
Mm-hmm. World's most useless cyborg. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah. So, what else is there?
Uh,
Confucius, Aristotle.
Confucius and Aristotle. That's about all I had on them. Really, it seemed like a bit of a sidebar, so I didn't go too deep into it. But I thought I'd bring it up. If I see Aristotle, I'll bring up Aristotle. At
I
this
mean,
point.
come on. He is part of our conversation. Basically, he's our friend. He is
Mhm.
our co-podcaster at this point.
Yeah.
He should be included. If I could summon his ghost, I would have already.
Mm-hmm.
Because he sure needs to be a part of this conversation.
Absolutely.
The dude you cannot get more philosophical than the father of philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Tell
I
you
have
what.
to.
If this video gets 100 likes, we'll get Aristotle on as a guest.
But if we're over or under, we won't.
Yes, it needs to be exactly 100.
For 100 days over 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, we'll be ghosts, so we could actually bring someone.
Actually, exactly. That's thinking outside the box right there.
Right? That game's helping.
Yeah, true. I was playing that before you got here, too.
Oh, really? How far did you get?
I'm at... What am I at?
You're at something.
Yeah, I'm at a
Do not
point...
spoil if someone is going to play it.
Yeah, I'm not going to say the name of the game.
Okay.
But I'm at the point where you have to put your phone down on the table and let a
Oh,
decryption
and
happen.
here. Okay, okay,
I
okay.
have no idea how long I need to let it wait for. Like it flashes my flash on my camera, but
Mm-hmm.
that's too early. And then I had music playing, so I didn't actually hear if there was any kind of audio
Oh,
cues.
it
So,
is. You need to
okay.
hear. It's Morse code.
Oh, okay.
It's. I think it's 3 or 4 letters, so you need to keep a track of it.
Gotcha. I would have picked that up if I was paying
Eventually.
attention to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, a fun game. It's like it's a riddle game essentially.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I would have recommend, but he spoiled it already, so I don't want to recommend it anymore.
Ruined.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now they will guess what.
Mm,
Okay, it's
sorry.
actually called Detective Mimo. It is a paid game, but it is like $4, I think.
Yeah,
$3.99.
like $3.99.
It was really interesting. Not sponsored.
Mm-hmm.
I wish, but like not. If you want to sponsor us, great. I will be very happy. But if not, that's fine too. It's just a fun game. I picked it up first, obviously, because I play a lot of phone games.
Mm-hmm.
He plays a lot of computer games.
Yep, but I have a phone.
Yeah.
Shocking, I know.
Crazy notion. Who has phones nowadays? I
Right.
don't understand. We should all be cyborgs and just have chips planted in our brain and connected. Oh, it will be amazing VR.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it would.
By the way, after the game that we played,
Mm-hmm.
I was feeling nauseous
Yeah.
for like 30 minutes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's no fun.
Mm.
Yikes.
We have VR set at work. We're so cool. It sounds so amazing.
Yeah.
But we have a VR set, and we were I discovered, because it was my turn to play, Google Earth.
Yep.
And we just went on a trip.
Mm-hmm.
It was, by the way, if you have a VR set and you want to explore the world, it's a great way to
It
actually
really
like
is.
walk around the streets
Mm-hmm.
of cities. It's only big streets, obviously,
Yeah.
but I think it's almost every single part of the world can be found, even like small villages and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
As long as it's not like really like small corners.
The more populous the city, or like the bigger the city, I think the smaller levels of detail you'll get.
Mm-hmm.
So like Tokyo, for example, you might find, alleyways and dirt roads and whatnot. I don't know if there's dirt roads in Tokyo, but
No,
you
I
know
don't
my
think
point. But if it's in like the middle of Canada, you're probably going to get a main highway and maybe someone's like access road.
So. Yeah. So it's not gonna be anything.
Yeah. But either
Every
way-
single place in the world, because remember it's actual camera taking video or pictures of it, so
Yeah.
you can't really just expect it to be
Mm-hmm.
every corner of the world, because if we knew every corner of the world,
It'd be a little creepy.
it kind of would be very kind of creepy. I want to have some mysteries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, mysteries are good from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny you bring up computer implants. This is going to get so far off topic, but apparently...
Maybe it's our aspiration to become cyborgs.
Fair. It's possible. Apparently, Elon Musk's little Neuralink thing just went through its first human trial, which, not like for or against, not really a fan of Elon, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. But first successful human trial, some dude's got a brain computer interface in his head now. And apparently he used it to stay up playing video games for all night. Yeah, of course. Right.
Wow.
But yeah, he can like think words and type it into a computer, or like think and it'll play the game. Which is kind of neat, but also scary.
You're installed one of a kind computer in your brain and you stay up playing video games.
Mm-hmm.
Can't blame a person. I would read all night.
Fair.
Or probably play games too, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Play a game like in your mind or in a computer? Like
On the
how
computer,
does-
he's like a paraplegic. He can't move any of his
Oh,
body.
well, that explains everything.
Yeah.
Of course, I would also spend my
Yeah,
time.
He's
playing
not just
games.
some normal able-bodied person who's like, I'd like to control this with my mind.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
it's a little bit
okay.
different.
That makes much more sense. When you're disabled and you suddenly have an opportunity and ability to do something you've never been able to do before, I would absolutely spend time doing that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just thought it was neat though.
Well, I think it is on topic because it is an aspiration and a goal
True.
of people to get to the point of such
Mm-hmm.
technological advances.
It is. That's actually an interesting segue. That's something I used to aspire to a lot, to like be always at the forefront of technology.
Yeah.
And as I've gotten older, I've kind of adjusted that aspiration where I don't really want to anymore. Not in the same way, anyways.
Yeah, I think that's what differentiates like teenagers and adults, is that teenagers are so adventurous and so forward, with everything. They're like, "Oh, I'm never gonna be like this old guy. It's like in
Right.
future, I'm gonna be cool and hip, and I'm gonna strive to be more modern and like cool." How many times did I say cool? Maybe it should be a drinking game, and every time I say cool, you could be taking a shot. And then you become an adult, and you're like, screw that.
Right.
Just like leave me alone.
I mean, there's also the point that like a teenager's view on it is more idealistic, where you don't think of like the downsides.
Oh
and
yeah,
whatnot.
good point. I didn't think about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as a 12-year-old, I thought a computer in my head, that would be amazing. I could do so many cool things. As at my current age, I think a computer in my head, they're going to find a way to advertise to me. in my
Imagine
sleep.
having ads and you have to then subscribe to some plan to not have ads in your own brain. Like what the fridge?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would be so pissed if they start translating something into my brain that like, and here is a new mug that you can be using at home, and it's wondrous shape, can hold like liquids. And I'm like,
Yep. Oh,
wow.
you just thought about water? You're thirsty? Buy Aquafina. Yeah.
Doo-doo.
Uh-huh.
Oh my
Product
God,
placement in your own head. Oh my God. So anyways, yeah, I don't aspire to have a brain computer chip anymore.
I mean, I feel like in ideal world that sounds amazing, so cool.
Yeah.
But
Like,
the
that's-
implications in reality are a little bit more heavy
Yeah.
than just like an idealistic dream. Dream, exactly. It is a dream because when you think about it, you're like, picture perfect world that you want to live in, and that's the dream. But then
Right.
the reality might slap you in the face and be like, nope.
Mm-hmm. Although I will admit I will be mighty tempted if we get something like Sword Art Online and it utilizes one of those.
Oh, like neuro.
Yeah, I mean, other than the, not being able to log out part.
Oh yeah.
But like,
I was like,
uh-huh.
wow.
But
you're
like full
so
dive
brave.
VR, oh my God, that would be so cool.
Yeah, where you can just transport. I feel like I'll be okay with that. Then the ads would be a little more appropriate,
As long as
Because
they
it-
were only in the game.
as long as you can exit it out. And
Yeah.
I think that's what we should strive, like have a headset instead of brain chip.
Right. Yeah,
Like,
we just.
headset so well designed
Yeah.
that you can put it on and take it off.
Right.
Because I don't even really want plastic surgery, but chip in my brain seems to be a little more permanent plastic surgery.
Right.
Well, maybe not so much, but I feel like once you put it in your brain, you cannot really just take it out willingly. And I would want a option of taking it out.
Right, for sure. Yeah, I mean, a headset, we're already at the point where headsets are nearly good enough that you can't, like, tell it's a screen. Obviously, you know it's a headset on your head, but, like, the resolution's high enough. I think the only thing we need to unlock at this point is controlling yourself with your brain instead of with a set of controllers, and then we're set.
Well,
So-
like in Sword Art Online, you're fully submerged in the world, and it's like
Yeah.
no different from the reality.
Right, yeah, that's fair.
Oh
That's,
my God, I would play video games like that
Yeah,
for sure.
it would be a dream.
Like flying,
Oh, that would be so fun.
fighting swords. I would be really good at fighting swords.
Oh, yeah, I bet you would. I feel like I would get good at it, but I don't think I'd have a natural talent for it.
Maybe I don't have a natural talent for it either.
Hmm.
Maybe I'll need to play music while I'm fighting.
I mean, you're plenty good at Beat Saber, so
I'm very good at Beat Saber. I'm decent at Beat Saber. Let's just put it that way.
you could have a VR MMO where there's a skill that turns all the enemies into Beat Saber blocks and like starts playing your favorite
Oh my
song.
God, that would be so cool. Oh my God, as long as it's not on like 10.86,
Right, fair.
then no.
Uh-huh. Huh.
And you can be a ninja and stuff. That would be so cool.
Oh, that would be so
And a
fun.
magician. What is your? Sorry, guys, we totally off tangent, but it's okay.
That's what we do.
It's fine. That's what we do. That's expected. If you're not used to our rambling, then what are you doing here on the ninth episode? Maybe start from the beginning and progress your way towards here.
Absolutely. Please do.
That's our style, okay? 40% topics, 60% rambling.
Mm-hmm.
What is your choice of character type? Oh my God, why am I forgetting the lingo? The cool lingo of like gamers.
Like a character class.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
class. Almost there.
If we're talking like a fantasy setting, I'm usually playing archer.
Oh, archer.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I really like archery. It's fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I've always been like a ranged combat kind of person. So,
Okay.
especially if it's like an active combat
Mm-hmm.
deal instead of like a, press tab and it auto targets for you.
Mm-hmm.
I like the feeling of shooting arrows.
Okay.
It's neat. So, Yeah.
Have you ever done archery before?
I used to have a bow. Technically, it was my dad's. I fired it a little bit. I kind of suck at it, but like I can hit a target. So yeah, it's fun. Honestly, been thinking about getting one. I think there's ranges around the city.
Yeah, you
So
can go. I did archery in high school.
yeah, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Like archery classes.
Hmm.
I like archery too, but that's not my usual. I usually either do a magician,
Hmm.
if we're talking about fantasy setting, right?
Right.
Or a supporter.
Gotcha.
Because I always think that a good supporter is definitely
Mm-hmm.
like I can, because there's always more attack type or tank type characters
Right.
and less support type characters.
Yep.
Or there's such a big variety of support type characters, so having a main character as a support type character is kind of useful.
Yeah. And everyone loves a good buffer or a good healer.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Or rage regen,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah. I know that I never choose assassins.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care for much for close combat, to be honest.
Fair.
Also, they require specific skill set and like specific stuff, so that I don't play enough
Mm-hmm.
games like of the type to have an opinion.
Fair.
But no, I have an opinion. Enough expertise to know how to build a assassin.
right.
I also do not play archers.
Yeah.
Very rarely do I get archers.
Hmm.
And tanks. Well, sometimes I might be a tank, because I feel like I never want to purchase a tank.
Right.
So it's either like a healer, magician, or tank.
Fair.
Because like if I am a tank
Mm-hmm.
and everyone else are like support or
right.
attackers, at least I can hold my own, because I know, because you always have enough of materials to upgrade yourself in
Mhm.
game if it's personalized like that.
Right.
But then you have to like specifically develop other characters. So if you're a really good tank or a really good supporter, you can kind of carry a team
Mm-hmm.
far.
For sure. Yeah. Meanwhile, I like being the one doing the damage. So
Perfect. If we fall into a fantasy world, you will be an archer and I'll be a support character. Because I definitely will not be a tanker.
mm-hmm.
Imagine.
Seeing you as a tank, that'd be pretty funny. You could see you with a massive tower shield just charging into battle.
Oh, like that anime girls that just take out the massive ballistics just like from the like miniskirt and just out of nowhere, and you're like, where did you just
Mm-hmm.
what?
Right. Where
I
was
aspire to be like that.
that? Nice.
Not really. I want to be the magic girl with magic wands.
Mm-hmm. Magic is cool. Honestly, if we fell into a fantasy world, you'd have a hard time prying magic out of my hands.
You won't be. You'll be a magical archer.
True. Wouldn't need real
But
arrows.
then again, if you suck at archery itself, maybe you will need to become good at something else.
I feel like I could get good at it fast enough if given the reason.
Okay, swords
Mm-hmm.
or like or like a bow and arrow.
Like if I had to pick between the two?
Yeah, or an assassin type like knives.
See, I feel like that's a tough one. I do like swords. Swords are cool. But close combat's scary. And if this was like a real life situation, range is safe. But at the same time, if you're a range and someone sneaks up on you, you're in big trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you're a close combat type, people don't like to sneak
That's
up
why
on
you need to be a magician, because they can do close and far. Well,
True.
actually, it depends what kind of combat they have.
you. Mm-hmm.
Because some magicians are only range,
Right,
and
yeah.
some of them are close.
Right.
So it
Depends
depends.
on the rules of the world.
Also, you don't know if they're AOE.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
True. AoE.
AOA, right? Area of
Effect.
effect.
Yep.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or are they more like single target?
Right. That's fair.
I always prefer AOE.
Yeah.
AOA. I always go AOE. What is AOE, by the way? There's
AoE
something.
is area of effect.
Oh, so it's appropriate. AOE and AOA.
I've never heard it done AoA, but I guess I could see that working. Like it's objectively the same.
Similar
Yeah.
enough. Area of effect, area of
Area of doing bad things to a big group of people at
exactly
the
that one. I do not play enough games to have my words and definitions down for things,
same time. Right.
especially not like the abbreviations for them. So
Fair.
forgive me for my ignorance of gaming world and definitions and stuff like that.
We forgive you. As an ambassador. As an ambassador
Wow.
of the gaming world, we forgive you.
Thank you. But yeah, I think it would be interesting. I think I would either be a support character, buffer healer, all that,
Right.
or an assassin actually.
Yeah.
I feel like flexible and fast enough, agility and flexibility would do me good. Because you have to be
Assassins.
flexible and agile to be an
Yeah.
assassin, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I could see
You,
that.
you don't necessarily you don't necessarily need to have brute force. You can be just agile. Because
Yeah.
technically for assassins, even in game, you kind of dump agility into them.
Right. Yeah. You move fast. You don't get hit much, and you
Yeah.
finesse with your attacks and hit
Yeah,
the weak
and
spots.
assassin, the whole point is one stab kill and you're done.
That would be cool, but that's like a walking on a knife's edge. I feel like.
Also, quite literally too.
Yeah. An assassin thief hybrid would be kind of fun.
Maybe magical assassin.
True. Yeah.
Imagine having an assassin who can support him and buff himself.
Ooh.
I would aspire to be one of those.
That book series that I want you to read.
That one?
Yeah. He's kind of that.
The beginning was not impressive. It didn't hook me in.
Damn. Oh well.
I might stop my subscription to Amazon, so
Darn.
it will vanish from my Kindle.
Oh well.
I might go back to it, but
Right. I might buy the hard copies eventually because I want to have them anyways.
I want soul leveling.
Yeah.
My goal.
We brought it back.
Yes, my goal is to buy the entire soul leveling
There you go.
book series.
Yeah.
By the way, if you've never read, it's a Korean novel. Really good.
Yeah. I've got 6 of them over there.
Novel, there's a manga, and there's an anime now made.
Yep.
I mean, ongoing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure first season didn't even capture like quarter of the entire manga.
Yeah, I don't know specifically how far they're getting, but I don't think it's very far.
I doubt that. At least half of it, they need at least for another season to finish, to wrap up.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the latest episode, like 10 or whatever, was his healer friend. Like, it was the point where she quit. Yeah, that's like
The
not far at
10th
all.
episode?
Yeah,
How many episodes are in that season?
12, I think. Yeah.
They will need at least 10 seasons to
Yeah.
go through the entire novel.
Or they'll need to really speed up production.
I mean,
Well, I mean, it'll still be 10 seasons, but
if the 10th episode is when she just quits, that's not even like scratching the surface.
right, yeah. Like, he hasn't even started his metamorphosis yet, so
No.
yeah. Yikes.
Wow.
I'll have to confirm that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Insane.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I probably won't watch it until like it's fully come out because I'll just reread the manga. At
Yeah.
That point.
That's a good call. I don't even know if I want to watch it at this point.
I mean, it's a good one. The first episode was very well made. I just
Yeah.
don't want to go so slow.
Yeah, it's nothing against it.
It's a
But-
very good story. It's
yeah.
very well made, but if you know the original, it's
Yeah.
quite slow.
Yeah, if I was watching it and this was my first intake of the story, I'd probably be fine with it.
Yeah. It's really good. Just like I read the story like 3 times in novel and like 4 times in manga, and
Yeah.
I'm just like I cannot. I'll just go back and reread it again
Yeah.
because I'm just so impatient.
Yeah, if I watch 12 episodes and it ends there, I'm just going to read the rest anyways because I'm going to want to. So.
Yeah, because you already and you know the story and you just kind of can go back and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't introduce you to that, right?
No.
Okay, you already knew it. Oh, thank God.
Yep. I don't remember where. I think I just stumbled upon it randomly.
I wish I could claim the the honor of introducing you to Soul Leveling because I would be so impressed with myself if I did.
Right.
But I did not.
He did introduce me to that other one by the same artist, though, or whatever, same writer.
Really? Which one?
The reincarnation one or whatever it was that we stopped because it got kind of old.
Oh, the
Omniscient Reader.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, but like tiresome.
Mm-hmm.
Solo is better.
Yeah, for sure.
He takes breaks in between.
Yeah, he's a real person.
Yeah, the humanity I'd say. I don't know if you know, like if you're even within the genre of like fantasy novels or not. It gets very boring if the main character is just like a constant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
character
get better
development.
and fight enemies and just non-stop, and there's like no human form to him whatsoever. He like disregards all human contact. He doesn't have any like very little friends. He's antisocial and he just grinds.
Right.
It gets old after like 30 chapters.
Yeah, it
Just
really
like
does.
give me some human contact.
Yeah.
Show me that you're a real person with like actual emotions and not just revenge or like I'm gonna beat them up or I need to
Right.
get stronger because the end of the world is near.
Mm-hmm.
or whatever other objective they have, or no objective, because some of them don't have objective whatsoever.
Right. See, that's why I like He Who Fights with Monsters so much, because the main character in that, he's a real dude. He goes through basically every emotion a human goes through. His mind breaks at times because such terrible things happen. He goes through grief. He jokes around like a normal person. You know, it's like the whole gambit of what you'd expect a person to do thrown in that situation.
Yeah.
So it's a very personable character. So
Still no promises.
yeah, I'm not saying I expect you to. I get it. It's literally my favorite book series. So
Yeah.
matter of fact, I think I might even start rereading it after this.
Should.
Yeah.
It's always good to read good stories.
It's a comfort story at this point,
Mm-hmm.
even though it
It's
shouldn't
like a-
because
it's
terrible
like a-
things happen.
It's like watching your favorite show. That's why I'll go back to true crime.
Yeah.
It's all familiar. It's all
Fair.
killing. It's all the same.
Right.
Someone
yeah.
dies in the end.
Exactly.
Like
yes.
it's not no surprise. Someone is gonna get into a very bad situation. They're gonna get very bad things happen to them, and then the conclusion is also the same. So you can expect the same things.
Yeah.
So it's never a surprise. You'll be surprised in the middle, in while things happen, because you don't understand how humans are capable of things that they're doing to other humans or non-humans, meaning animals. I don't know where your thoughts went to, but I meant pets and animals. And
She's
so
talking about the aliens.
conspiracy theory. So you're never surprised by the outcome. It's never bad. It's never the ending you don't expect, unless the victim survives, and you're like, "What?
Yeah.
What a surprise!"
That would be rare.
I actually do get surprised when people survive. I'm like, "Oh my god!" I'm genuinely oops if that actually poked you in your metaphorical ears. Can you hear me? Sorry, that's so
my
obnoxious.
God. The coffee clearly hasn't worn off
You
yet.
can cut this out if you want to. It's fine.
No, it's staying in.
What was I talking? I lost my train of thought. Obviously,
When people survive
it get knocked out of my brain. Yes, when people survive, I'm actually genuinely happy for them, because true crime is true crime.
Yeah, generally
by default.
you just expect it to be people dying.
Yeah, or something terrible happened to them. So every time they survive and they go on living. Why are we back on death again? Let's go back to nice and fuzzy dreams, okay? And aspirations. Let's talk about something that actually meant to be spoken about in episode.
Gotta hit that 40% on topic quota.
Yeah, exactly. We barely hit like 15.
Yeah, right. All right, so do you know the two different types of aspirations?
No. There are
Okay.
two different types of aspirations?
I mean, it's generally considered to be true. I don't know if it's like, dead factual, like written in the history books true.
That's
but like
fine.
everything I found
We're not
online-
claiming to be
Yeah.
anything 100%.
Yeah, generally it's understood that there are intrinsic aspirations and extrinsic aspirations.
Okay.
So intrinsic aspirations are things like,
Internally
personal growth, relationships, community, that kind of thing, how you aspire to be in those situations. And then extrinsic is kind of like your more vanity focused.
So
or
character based, and then
Yeah, and then it's like success based or like money, looks, fame, that kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah. So those are generally your two separations.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I just didn't think about it, but okay,
Right.
I get it.
Yeah.
I'm
That's kind of
more driven by. Would you say I'm driven by intrinsic or extrinsic more? Because that's a hard one
Yeah.
for
it is a
me, at
little.
least, to like narrow down, because I do both.
Right. I feel like you put forward a more extrinsic standpoint. So I would
But
go
in
with it.
reality, I'm a more intrinsic.
I think in reality you're a decent mix of both.
Fair enough.
Whereas, but like in conversation, it seems like you're a bit more extrinsic.
Well, because we don't really talk about a lot of growth, personal growth kind of stuff.
Fair.
We always talk about more physical level,
Yeah.
less material stuff, material physical level of things,
Fair.
like possessions, and not the spiritual possessions. That's an intrinsic part of it, okay? I'm talking about
That's an entirely different episode.
material possessions, okay? and stuff like that. So it just kind of comes up more often than anything.
Right.
And
Yeah.
also, I know that you don't really do a lot of purposeful personal growth.
Right.
I'm saying purposeful because I seek purposeful personal growth, where you grow by association with me. Yes, I put myself on the
pedestal.
higher ground. I didn't want to say pedestal, on the higher ground.
Fair.
Well, because I'm not being like preachy or anything. Just because it just rubs off me. Just because I start talking about it, and then obviously you usually grow by association. If you're hanging out with people who speak certain ways, you kind of grow to understand or accept that a little bit more and think about it more often.
Right.
By default, sure. That's why they say like, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are.
Yeah,
that's why your associations with people are very important, because that kind of, they say like, if you want to become someone or aspire to be something or become someone, associate yourself with people who are already there. Like if you aspire to be rich, hang out with people who are financially well off.
Right.
They will teach you habits.
Yeah.
Habits. So
not even intentionally, you'll just pick up as things happen.
It will just rub off.
Yeah.
So I feel like because I seek intentional personal growth, you by association get things that float out of my mind.
That's fair. Yeah. Well, thanks for pulling me along.
You're pulling yourself along.
Yeah.
I'm just on a journey, and you're, standing around me.
In your general atmosphere.
Yeah, in the general vicinity of my influence. And the fact.
Oh my god.
What? We're friends and coworkers. I'm not in your life 24/7.
Right.
I cannot like pull you along my journey.
Yeah.
So you're in general vicinity.
Yeah. In your orbit.
Exactly. You're like a moon.
If I go that far.
Well, continue. I need to send a message.
Yep. So I've got a list of like ways, like there's generally aspirations have been kind of separated also outside of this intrinsic versus extrinsic. There's obviously like the lofty versus simple aspirations, right?
Okay.
Like if you
For
say,
example?
I aspire to have coffee every day this week. That's a pretty simple aspiration.
I feel like it might be my goal is to have coffee. I don't think it's necessarily an aspiration.
Yeah, I guess that's not really an aspiration. Say it's I aspire to buy a new car by the end of the year. That's a pretty simple aspiration.
I feel like for me, while you're giving examples, anything that has a time is a goal. And everything that has an idea without a time is an aspiration.
That's fair.
That's why for me aspirations are more personal growth, kind of, because you don't have a set time frame when you're getting there.
Gotcha.
I don't know if that makes any sense, or if it's even true.
I mean, it makes sense. So.
But in my mind, that's how I perceive it. I might be totally wrong, and the definitions don't match up. But
fair enough. All right, let me reframe it then. Let's say your aspiration is to read more.
Isn't that more of internal growth wise?
I mean, yeah, but it's still an aspiration. Right?
Yeah. That would be more. Instead of like, my goal is to read every day for 30 minutes. That's I feel like a goal, not an inspiration.
Yeah,
but to read more, it's more like a vague enough and to not be specific enough to not be a dream, but vague enough to not be a goal.
Right. It's perfectly attainable.
I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm sorry if I'm messing you up.
It's fine.
Please do your research too.
Basically, though, like that's a good example of a simple
What
goal.
about the extrinsic one? I couldn't say it.
What about it?
Well, what would be an example of a extrinsic aspiration? So intrinsic are like, I aspire to be a better person throughout my life and do more volunteering, for example, right? But what would be an extrinsic aspiration? Like, my goal is to own many expensive cars.
That's one.
I aspire to have a luxury lifestyle, maybe.
Right.
Maybe that would be the.
I aspire to have a video with 1,000 views.
That's a goal. It's a goal.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. But yeah, you were pretty much hitting it on the head.
I
though.
feel like that would be like I aspire to live a luxurious life.
Yeah, or I
Which is
aspire to be
like-
successful or popular. Yeah.
Would popularity be extrinsic or intrinsic?
That's
Maybe extrinsic because
primarily
other
extrinsic.
people affect you, not you affecting other people.
Yeah, pretty much. It's an external influence in a way.
Okay.
It's
Almost metaphysical in a sense.
Yeah, a little bit. Huh. I guess I don't understand it as well as I thought I did, to be fair. But yeah, that's
I
pretty
don't think
much
we understand a lot of things to full capacity.
fair. I don't understand things to like 20% capacity most of the time.
Most of the times you don't have to.
True, yeah. I get by just fine on 20%.
Listen. There was a common belief that we only use 20% of our brain.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was disputed.
True. I'm pretty sure it was
And,
debunked.
and yep.
Yeah.
And I think we do use. I think, like physical capacity, we use fully,
Mm-hmm.
but we might not use the full. It's like CPU.
Yeah,
You,
right.
you don't necessarily use the full power of the CPU, right? You might just
Right.
use like power, like good. But by the way, it's a good thing because if you're using 100% of CPU, something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah, same with your brain. If you're
Yeah.
using 100%.
Well, I
you're-
think it will be just exhausting more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, it might even go a little further. I bet your brain might overheat at that point, I would think, or you get a headache at the very least. So, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, back to simple versus lofty goals.
Yes.
So-
Goals.
Aspirations. It's all falling apart. No, back to simple versus lofty aspirations. So a simple aspiration is back to the I would like to read more, right?
Okay.
Whereas a lofty aspiration would be like, I would like to get a raise, or I would like to be. Yeah, the raise one. That's a bad example.
I
But
feel like an aspiration in relation to smaller, I would like to read more, is like, I would like to obtain as much worldly knowledge as possible.
I like that. That's way better than wherever the heck I was going with
It's
that.
related to books because, like, I would like to read, I aspire to read more versus I aspire to gain as much knowledge as possible because it still includes reading.
Right.
I don't know, I'm drawing parallels to that.
Right. That's fair.
To gain as much knowledge as possible, which includes reading a lot and doing and watching and
Right.
observing and stuff like that. Maybe doing research too, like actual experimentational research, not
Mhm.
just theoretical research.
Right. It's
that
something
makes
you're
sense.
excited about too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, if you're aspiring to learn all the earthly knowledge, well, I suppose astrophysical knowledge too, all the possible all the knowledge that exists in the world. I think it's not just a subject you're passionate about. Like the process of learning, the obtaining information itself is important to you. It doesn't matter what information it is.
Right. Fair.
It's like literally reading math textbook because you're curious about the equations
Mm-hmm.
and theoretical
True.
applications of math.
Which would be weird, but if you're into that,
But
Good on you.
listen, if that's what drives you, that's great.
yeah. So-
That just puts me to sleep.
Right. Fair. What I'm trying to lead into is like how to determine if you have lofty goals, basically.
Aspirations.
Yeah. Keep correcting me, please. You're right. Anyways, what would you say would be like signs that you have lofty aspirations?
If you cannot do them every day,
Hmm.
or like, well, for example, I would like to read more. I feel like you can apply it. Well, I feel like whatever doesn't feel as grandiose,
Hmm.
or that doesn't seem as achievable as you might think.
Right.
For example, I would like to gain all the knowledge in the world. Seems to be a little more overwhelming that I would like to read more.
Right. That's fair.
I feel like I would like to read more implies that I might read an extra 20 pages a day
Yeah.
or 2
fair.
pages. However, whatever your speed or level of reading is, it's doesn't matter. I'm just giving an example.
Mhm.
220, 200 doesn't matter. 2 minutes, 20 minutes, like you can increase that and stuff like that. Whereas I would like to learn all the knowledge in the world is very
Mhm.
very vague and unspecific, and you have to break it down in more achievable goals.
Fair.
That I think at that point you have to actually break down your aspiration in something more chewable.
Mhm.
You know what I
Fair.
mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
You're your brain has a hard time being like, how can I process this grandiose idea into something manageable and not get overwhelmed and like not want to pursue it anymore.
Right. Just basically the presence of all these goals is itself kind of a sign of having high aspirations.
Yeah. If you're afraid of your own aspiration, it's probably a sign that it's too big.
That makes sense.
You can dream about it, but if you want it, you then need to break it down into something more achievable and step by step.
Yeah, fair.
It can be as small as, like, for example, if you want to become a millionaire, you might want to break it down and be like, I can start by going to more networking events.
True.
By that, I will associate more with more successful people.
Right. Or like,
and then maybe less. I can buy a book on wealth. I mean, finance, at least. It doesn't matter how applicable it is. At least you will get your feet dipped into a little bit of.
You're moving forward.
Just as long as you're moving forward in a general direction.
Yep.
You can just do that, and then it's slowly you can build up. Okay, I have 20 networking contacts. Let me try and make. And networking is such an intimidating word because it implies so much. Like you're supposed to be this kind of like guru or like have this kind of knowledge to, and you're like business only, work related. No, I feel like it's just you're making. Networking is an adult version of saying I'm hanging out with people.
Right, you're making friends in high places.
Exactly, or not even high places, just in places.
Right, yeah.
Under a general umbrella of similar topic, it's like a hobbies but more elevated, like a work related, not work related, but like.
Yeah, I mean technically you're networking every day when you're talking to people at work.
Exactly. Like, when you're striking a conversation someplace in a store, that's your networking too.
Yep.
Again, networking is just an elevated word, scary elevated word.
Yeah, it's
for any socialization you have. Hopefully that's not work either.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the list I had here, it lists things for like telling you have high aspirations and stuff like daydreaming about your aspirations and stuff like that, which is kind of on point as well with what you were saying, a little different, but I like yours better, honestly. The presence of the goals, I think, is a really good indicator that you have high aspirations.
But then I feel like once you have high aspirations, it goes into the realm of dreaming. Because if you are not able to compile your dream and aspirations into an achievable goals, they will just stay as dreams.
Right.
It's already you're just dreaming, which is nothing bad. Dreaming drives you to have goals.
Fair.
Unless you're just daydreaming all the time and you cannot concentrate on the reality, you need to have a healthy balance of something going on, because you cannot. The reality becomes painful if you cannot achieve parts of your dreams.
Yeah, for sure. There is definitely a negative connotation to having too high of an aspiration.
Yeah, if you're dreaming too much, then you're not living in the reality, and by then I feel like you're dissociating and you can fall in the whirlpool of depression.
Yeah, you can absolutely spiral into like a bad place.
Yes, and or you can be so out there that you won't ever be present and you won't ever actually live life. You'll be in this magical world, which is good. I live there too sometimes when I read, usually.
Yeah, it's good in moderation.
Yeah, but like once you have something more that you can work towards actively, I think it's a better way. You can have high dreams and like dream all you want, but as long as you have something to achieve.
Yeah, I think you could even break that down further and say like, you can have a perfectly attainable aspiration, but if the goals you set are too big of a leap from each other, that can even lead to that situation.
That's why you need to set smart goals, like, specific, measurable, attainable, timely, or whatever the actual letters stand for. I don't remember now. Please do Google search, or maybe we can search. Maybe I can search.
Reachable by chance?
Maybe reachable.
Huh.
You know what? I'll Google so I don't have to send you guys on the.
Fair enough.
Smart.
But yeah, it's good to set goals that don't ask too much of yourself.
Okay, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound.
Relevant and time bound. Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense.
So, you should not be like intimidated or overwhelmed by your own goal, if you need to make it so small. In your opinion, so small, it's still a goal, it's still a step forward.
Yep.
They say if you do not move forward, you're regressing. You're moving backwards. You're never really stationary.
Right.
You're never really just paused. You either go forward or you go backwards.
Yep. The world moves on without you.
Which means, why choose to go backwards if you can go forward?
Exactly.
Even if it's a small step.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep, for sure.
So yeah, for example, goals, right? Achievable. I get intimidated by goals too. The idea of goals seems overwhelming because you're expected to achieve them, right?
Right.
But maybe your goal, not aspiration, but your goal is to be more neat. Maybe you're a messy person,
Right.
right?
I can sympathize with that.
I can sympathize with it too. I feel like I'm clean, but I'm messy. Like I sometimes leave my clothes, like folded clothes, laundry. Just
Right.
I have like folded laundry in stacks just on my by my dresser, and I have to put it away, and I haven't yet.
Yeah.
Maybe
I have 3 clothing baskets full of like last week's
Right?
clothes
Oh
just
my
still sitting there.
I
So.
just laundry is my least favorite house chore. I can do probably everything else but laundry.
Yep.
So, for example, you want to be more neat and less messy. I hope we're all clean, but if your goal to be more clean, where you have dirt or dust or something, you can work on that too. But my specific example will be with messiness, because I can kind of sympathize with it. Maybe you can set a goal that is reachable. Smart goal is that I will put one thing away a day.
Yeah, that's a good place to start.
It's small enough where you will for sure be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
Your goal is literally just put one, even if it's a pair of socks, or an underwear or a t-shirt. It doesn't matter. Your goal is just to make one.
Yeah.
You already immediately will start feeling better because you set a goal and you completed it.
Yep. And that might make you feel good enough to keep
to
going.
actually keep going.
And even if you don't,
that's fine because you achieved your goal.
Yep.
Your goal was one thing away.
Yeah. Do it again tomorrow.
Exactly.
You're moving forward.
Yeah. And even if you have loads of it doesn't matter as long as you keep achieving the goal. And then you can be like so comfortable with doing one, you can increase it to 2.
Yep.
2 things away.
Absolutely.
And that's how you can increase your capability of maybe setting bigger goals and achieving them maybe faster. I mean, as long as you're moving forward, yes, you want to achieve your goals faster.
Right.
But you're still achieving something. You're still moving forward. But don't get me wrong. Being comfortable is good, but you still need to stretch yourself a little bit.
Yeah, you don't
want to be
grow much when you're
complacent.
comfortable.
Yeah, being complacent is not good. It means that you are too comfortable. You're not going to be moving forward. So make it just a tad bit uncomfortable for yourself. Just a tad bit, just a little bit.
Yep.
But I feel like setting up goal to begin with is already stressful enough. So I feel like starting small and then stretching yourself on top of that later once you get in a
you got to build up to it.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, that would be a good. So that's how you reach goals. Bigger goals or bigger aspirations. You can just make tiny goals. Just move forward.
Yep, and it's just a boulder that keeps getting bigger.
And
as it
another
rolls.
thing that is my pitfall is try not to take too many goals at the same time. Our coworker always tells me that I'm too ambitious with my goals. I set too many of them, and then I get overwhelmed by the amount of things I have to do in a day.
I have noticed that happen a couple times.
Really?
It seems like you get overwhelmed at times. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it's only like in conversation with our coworker.
There's been weeks where you've seemed really tired out, and it seems like you were kind of putting too much on your plate. So.
Yeah, so I get like it's overly ambitious with like tasks and things that I want to do that I just get so overwhelmed that I do nothing or I burn out.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. You got to be careful with that type of stuff.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm gonna sneeze. Maybe not. Oh, thank God it passed. I jinxed it, and that was a good jinx because I didn't want to like sneeze in your ears, guys.
That would be a little loud.
Yep, sad bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, don't be too overly ambitious. Maybe concentrate on 1 or 2 goals. Maybe you want to fix your messiness and, I don't know, learn a language or a musical instrument, which is ambitious in its own, but like it's a good ambitious.
Yeah.
Maybe start with like touching the instrument. Just feeling it up. You don't have to play it yet.
Right? Yeah. Just get used to how it feels.
And you don't even, well, for a minute, for 2 minutes, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe learn an alphabet. Maybe like 5, 10 letters a day.
True.
Memorize the pronunciation and sound of them.
Yeah. Little by little.
Just little by little.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right.
I just feel like it's a good measurable thing. And if you are much more comfortable in setting bigger goals, please do. Don't follow my advice and settle.
Right.
Too small of a goal is becomes useless in a sense, because like you're not really stretching yourself.
Yeah, you
enough.
gotta set goals appropriate for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh well, I poked you again. So sorry.
Huh. All right. Fair enough.
What would let's guys set a goal for ourselves, bigger
Okay.
one, and we can scale it down. What would be the goal that you would want to achieve for yourself? Small. It doesn't have to be big. That we can then share with the audience.
Put me on the spot a little bit here.
Well, I will go first while you think.
Okay.
I want to. My goal is to get back in shape.
There you go.
It's my aspiration and a goal. How I can make it more achievable is I can go to the gym once a week.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's not a big. It's just going to the gym once a week. It doesn't matter how long I stay there. Well, okay, stay there for at least 30 minutes.
Right.
I can be there on the phone for 30 minutes, but as long as I'm in the gym, that's the goal. Okay,
That's fair.
I need to be in the gym for 30 minutes once a week.
Right on.
Because once I'm in the gym, I probably will be doing something, right? Because it's just
Yeah.
kind of awkward being on the phone.
Yeah, it'd be weird not to.
Yeah, at least
Yeah.
getting on a treadmill and just walking or something. I don't know. Whatever.
For sure. Huh. I think I want to eat better.
Okay, how are you going to achieve that? That's an aspiration, but let's bring it down to goal setting.
Setting goals. Let's start with just not eating fast food anymore.
Well, that's a big goal. It will be overwhelm you. How
What?
about, yeah. You cannot just cut something out completely.
Huh.
You will break down very quickly. How about you scale it down very, very much down. Very tiny. Maybe you could exclude specific food out.
No
Maybe
more
like-
French fries.
What? No
No.
more French fries?
Yeah.
But French fries are awesome.
There's so much salt.
Maybe specify no more chips.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. No more chips. That's
See?
easier.
You can break it, chip it away at. Like you have this rock of a goal.
Mm-hmm.
You can take a little small chips out of it.
Right.
By not eating chips. Oh my god, that's great. I did not even plan that.
Wow.
It just occurred to me that I made a pun.
Yeah. That's good. That's funny.
Well, for example, that's my goal too, to eat healthier, and I don't eat chips anymore. I don't know if you noticed that I eat very little chips nowadays.
Fair.
I also don't eat Nutella.
Right.
It gives me acne,
Fair.
which I love Nutella so much. I love chocolate. Good chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate's good.
Although it's not real chocolate, it's hazelnut paste with cocoa.
Fair. Still though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will be observing you.
All right. I will have to make an exception though. Still gonna get Dairy Queen.
Fries? I mean chips?
The malts specifically.
But right now we're saying chips.
Yeah.
You're just excluding chips.
Yeah.
That's it.
I was applying that to the bigger aspiration.
Yeah, but we're starting with a small goal of not eating chips.
All right. No more chips.
That's it. Pretty simple, right? You're only excluding one specific kind of food out of your regimen.
All right.
You can still eat everything else, just no chips.
Right on.
By chips, I mean packaged
Like Doritos.
potato chips or corn chips.
Right.
Yeah, that's the
The junk.
not
food
like
chips.
fish and chips, which British way of saying fries.
That's a different story. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go to the gym, which soon, because I'm waiting for the beginning of the month to start my gym membership.
Right.
So it rolls over nicely.
Yeah. Honestly, I want to do that too, but I didn't want to copy yours. So
I mean, you can copy, but will you follow up with that?
that's hard to say.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that I'm gonna follow up with it because I actually do really want to go to the gym.
Right.
I really enjoy working out.
Fair.
But for you, cutting out something part of it is great. Maybe then we can graduate to maybe including eating spinach twice a week.
I do have spinach in the fridge, so
That'll be already easier to follow.
yeah.
Maybe make a point of making yourself broccoli and spinach
True. Yeah.
twice a week. Do you want to graduate or just keep it at chips?
I'm gonna keep it at chips for now. I don't
Okay.
like broccoli, so
As an example.
yeah, it's that's gonna be a slow process, especially with my whole. I have a lot of food allergies, so that makes things a little tough.
I don't. I like food.
She's very lucky with that.
I love food. I love eating.
Yeah, food allergies are one.
That's
of
why I
the
need to go to the gym.
most in
I love food too much.
fair, don't we all?
Yeah, well, you clearly, well,
Excuse me.
you like food, but you don't eat a lot of food. I love food and I eat a lot of food.
Fair.
Like our coworker always gets fascinated how much I can stuff my face with.
Mm-hmm.
Like the donuts. Remember the donuts? I had like those full giant big ones, Nutella ones. They were like this big.
Oh my god.
And they were filled with Nutella. I make exceptions. I do not buy Nutella
Right.
and don't eat regular. But if it's presented to me once in a while,
Yeah.
like once in a while means like every quarter of in a year, like every 3 or 4 months.
Still gotta allow yourself to enjoy stuff.
Yeah, just because the goal, for example, exclude all chips. If he ate one chip, it's as long as it's not every day, it's rare enough where you can forgive yourself easily.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
that's fair.
It does not apply to murder or assault. I'm just saying.
Fair. Yeah, those don't quite fall under the.
Drug use or alcohol also. If you're an alcoholic and you're trying to like not drink and your goal is not drink, sleeping once is probably gonna be, you know,
that's a bit more of a
truth or
straight
dare.
deal, for sure.
Oh, my ears are hurting from the mask. Anything else to add to the general subject matter?
Not really. That about covers it.
That was it?
I mean, there's a bit more, but it's kind of clunky to jump back to at this point. So.
No, tell me. I want to know.
I mean, I've got a bunch of open-ended questions here.
Well, let's do one more open-ended question. If we only spend 5 minutes, then maybe we can add a second one. But one will be enough. I feel like. How much we ramble.
I feel like we actually hit a lot of these.
Of course we did. We're amazing. We hit subjects without even knowing about it.
Right. Do you remember any aspirations you had as a kid or like growing up?
Yes, I wanted to be an office clerk.
You have mentioned that one before.
Yeah. I was weirdly fascinated with having a desk job. Like I wanted to type on a computer and move documents and like print them, stamp them, touch them, work on them. It's a weird aspiration. I still like office jobs, by the way.
Right.
I worked in a library for sure, like during college years. It was my part-time. It was my work study. Work study, that's what the word. I loved it. I had to work with books directly, and I got to bind them and glue things, and I had to put them away and all that stuff, and I had to catalog and do a lot of like administrative library kind of tasks, and it was amazing. One of my favorite jobs of all time. I didn't have any human contact besides my managers and some of my coworkers. It was phenomenal.
Right on.
I think only like introverts can become YouTubers or podcasters, because you literally have to be by yourself or in a tandem with someone to speak on camera.
Yeah.
For long, extended periods of time. Or maybe no. Maybe there are other extroverts. I just feel like extroverts have enough of social life to do things outside of.
I think there's something to that. I don't remember who, but I was watching a video a while back that kind of hit on that topic a little bit, that it's like this whole craze of like the internet personality. It's kind of started with a bunch of introverted type people who were kind of social outcasts who use this as an outlet
to just share their thoughts and opinions. Yeah,
or to like build communities where they couldn't in real life for various reasons. So yeah.
I feel like I'm definitely introverted enough for that.
I certainly am too, I feel like. Although I've been discovering I'm less of an introvert than I thought I was.
I'm discovering I'm more of an introvert than I thought.
Huh. Interesting.
I'm ambivalent.
Fair.
No, ambivert. Not ambivalent. That's the wrong word. Ambivert. It means that you combine both. Introverted and extroverted. Like I can be very extroverted in companies. People don't believe that I am an introvert, but I definitely don't want social contact unless it's absolutely necessary.
Right.
Like unless I mentally prepare myself for it, like a week in advance. No one can pick me up the same day. Fair. If I'm in my house on my couch reading a book or watching a movie at 7:00, chances are I'm not gonna leave you because you invited me to a party.
Yeah.
No chance. That's just like, what? No, short notice. No, I don't do that.
That's more or less the same boat I'm in, to be honest.
Mhm.
It's like I don't seek out social interaction, but if I find myself in the middle of one, like I do fine.
Mhm.
So,
And I generally like people.
mm-hmm.
Generally.
Generally.
I just need pause from them. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be coming home tonight, and I'll be really happy to be home
Mm-hmm.
with my book and my cat and
Yeah.
my cup of tea. Another one, because I drink copious amount of tea.
Yeah, gotta recharge your battery somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the biggest distinction between introvert and extrovert. I think it's how you recharge. It's
Yeah.
not how you behave in the
I
situation.
think I told you about that.
You probably did.
Yes.
Yeah.
This, because I dwelled and read about it quite a
Mhm.
lot.
She's just a mountain of wisdom.
Just random facts I accumulated throughout the years of my not so very long life.
True.
I will not disclose how old we are.
Mm-hmm. I see that look. I'm not gonna do anything.
I know you don't. You won't, because you don't want to face the repercussions of your actions.
Yeah.
Because they will be scary.
Mm-hmm.
Rah. I'm a scary person, like a hamster. I can bite.
Scary hamster.
People don't take me seriously, so they're always like, "Well, you're like not scary at all, not intimidating at all." And I'm like hamster. You never know where it's coming from.
If you've ever seen the anime Toradora, she's like the little tiger in the palm. It's great.
Oh my god. Can I be any more humiliated tonight?
Hey, a tiger's cooler than a hamster.
That's true. But a small tiger compared to a small hamster is less realistic than a hamster. At least a hamster is true to its size. I don't know. I don't want to be a miniature animal anyways.
Fair.
I want to be something majestic.
Mm-hmm.
Like a wise owl.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're so... Have you ever seen videos of owls? They're amazing.
Owls are the greatest.
I aspire to be like them.
Owls are just flying
And they
cats.
can fly.
Yeah, they're literally
Like
flying
how
cats.
cool. They're like encyclopedias.
Right.
The bundles of wisdom that just fly and cute. They're cute. They're so cute.
They're so cute.
Like, just like...
Mm-hmm. I should get an owl as a pet. I wonder if I'm allergic to owls.
I was just gonna ask you if you're allergic to any aviator. The birds are called
Avian?
avian.
Yeah.
Yes. I was gonna say aviator, and I'm like, no, that's our Ray-Ban glasses. That's not the right word.
I hope I'm not allergic to those because I wear them every day.
I think you would have noticed by now.
Yeah, probably.
But anyways, guys, that concludes our topic, which wasn't even present for 40% of the episode. But I hope you still enjoyed our ramble. Off topic most of the time. So we'll be over there, and we'll see you next one. Bye.
Bye.